back on our Friday Orange and Brown Talk podcast. Time to pick the Browns and Ravens game. Dan Labbe with Mary Kay Cabot, Doug Lesmerises, Ellis Williams, and our Football Insider subscriber guest picker, Ray Ruscilla. The Browns, we've got this one. This line has been moving all over the place. In fact, Ellis, I got to hear from you real quick about this line. I know you had something to say about it. Right now, as I'm looking at it on FanDuel's site, they've got the Ravens -2.5. That was at one point this week, so it continues to go in the Ravens' favor. You are not real keen about this line, Ellis.
No, so we'll just state the obvious. I'm taking the Browns plus whatever you're going to give me because I don't understand this line one bit. I think it's pretty obvious that history is dictating this line rather than trends. When betting football, I think it's the best bet is to just look at the past 3 or 4 games sample size and decide that way on how a team is playing. Looking at data like the Browns losing 38-6 in week 1 is not how you formulate a week 14 line. Looking at the fact that the Ravens are 8-2 overall against the Browns in the past 10 games and 7-3 against the spread over those past 10 games is not how you set a current week 14 line. And it doesn't matter that the Ravens lead this series all time 32-11. That's not how you set a week 14 line. So the point is, I understand the history, and by any means, I'm not saying or guaranteeing a Browns win. I just don't see how a 7-5 team like the Ravens, who played Tuesday night and still looked out of whack, beating up and not doing in a demanding fashion or commanding fashion, beating up a weak Cowboys defense that didn't even want to be there, it looked like. I don't see how the Ravens are road favorites. So give me the Browns again, plus whatever. And I just don't like when history or something that happened 13 weeks ago make people feel comfortable about where a line should be. I've been hearing about it a little bit on Twitter, and I just don't think that is an accurate way to come at this game. Of course, Lamar Jackson could go video game and these things happen, but these are 2 completely different teams than what we saw in week 1.
Ray, why don't you give us your pick?
All right. Well, that 2.5 makes it really interesting. I look back at my younger days when I occasionally made a wager on a football game. And there was a strategy that if the line is 2.5, you take the 2.5. If it's 3.5, you give the 3.5. If it's 3, you lay off the game. Because with 3.5, you feel comfortable as the dog. If you're 2.5, you feel comfortable as the favorite. I like the Browns. I'm taking the 2.5.
All right. And Doug, is that where you're going?
Am I taking the Browns?
Yes.
No, I am not taking the Browns.
For all of that. Okay.
I'm agreeing with, I am not
This is why I use a pencil.
I am not getting sucked into it makes all the sense in the world that the Browns have been playing better. They're at home and they're an underdog, right? That all makes sense. I'm not buying it. And this is what I don't like about this game. It's a Monday night game, and everybody's going to think, oh, this is prime time. This is their chance to show the world, the Browns' chance to show the world who they are. It's a division game, and they have not won in the division this year. And everybody talks about you have to get past the Ravens and the Steelers to show who you are in the division. And I'm not betting against the Browns because of either of those reasons. I was looking at somebody very smart was talking about the man coverage the Ravens are probably going to play on Baker Mayfield, about the idea of, do the Browns without Odell have the people who can beat? It was Ellis's text to the tech subscribers who helped push me over the edge about why the Browns aren't going to win this game. And then he gets on the podcast and takes the Browns. So what's okay? That's okay, Ellis. I mean, but I think there's a lot of things here. Also, again, are the Browns going 13-3? Are you guys going to pick the Browns to win the rest of their games? I just don't think they're going 13-3. So I'm going to look for a loss somewhere in here. The Jets aren't even trying. We don't know what week 17 is going to look like, although at this point, I actually think they might not match up better with the Steelers than with the Ravens. I don't think Lamar goes nuts. I think they have a defensive plan. I think they get better pressure than they've been getting. I think they play man coverage. I think they make it hard for the Browns receivers to get open. And I think this is a game in the 20s. And the Ravens, by the way, if the Ravens don't win, they're done. This is the Ravens season. If the Browns don't win, they're fine. It would be great for them if they won. But if the Browns lose, they're almost certainly still going to make the playoffs. If the Ravens lose, they're probably done. So this is everything to them. So and I'm not getting sucked in. So I think the Ravens are going to win by like a touchdown. So I'll take the Ravens and give the points.
There are a lot of things I don't like about this game for the Browns. A lot. And I'm not sure how much of that is thinking back to past games, and I'm not sure how much of it is real. Some of it is I don't love the matchup against this defense. Some of it is, as old school as this sounds, it worries me a little bit that there were some Browns players getting a little chirpy on Twitter earlier this week. It kind of makes you think, these guys been reading their headlines just a little too much. I think it was kind of convenient how quickly that stopped and how abruptly that stopped after it started the other night. And like you said, Doug, this game means everything to the Ravens, because if they win this game, they're going to get to 11. They've got nothing after this. The Giants are their toughest game remaining. This doesn't mean everything to the Browns, because the Browns can lose this game and they should still get to 11 wins. So all of that makes me feel like, you got to take the Ravens. But as someone on our YouTube channel, accurately pointed out, my instincts this season have been wrong at every single turn. So I'm going to do as I've called it before, it's not actually the Summer of George episode, but I call it the Summer of George, where you just do the opposite of what you're thinking, the opposite of what pops into your head. And you know what? I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns on the 2.5 in this.
Again, I think it is a tough pick. When we actually have to pick just an outright winner for the game, I probably will pick the Ravens as we go through the week and we get closer to the game and we have to make that pick. And the reason why I say that is because I do think that they are getting people back healthy. Calais Campbell didn't really look like himself the other night, but now he's got another few days to kind of get back to where he needs to be. I don't know. I just think that this defense is better than what Baker Mayfield has faced since he faced the Steelers. They're going to bring pressure, and he hasn't shown yet that he can handle the pressure. But I do think that the Browns as an offense are much better than when they played the Steelers and when they played the Ravens the last time. So I think they can handle pressure this time. I think they know what to do with Baker Mayfield now. I think they know how to use him on the keepers better. I think they know how to use him on play action a lot better. They know how to use Nick Chubb and Kareem better. So I think there's plenty of things that they're going to throw at this defense now. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Today, I'm going to take the Browns and the points because if the Ravens do win, I'll just say it'll be by 2 points or less. So I'll take the Browns today. I might come back and pick the Ravens to beat the Browns.